to the Fast Mode podcast series. I'm Taranil, and with me today is Constantine, Polychronopoulos, Group VP of 5G and Telco Cloud at Juniper Networks. Juniper Networks is leading the revolution in networking with a sole mission to create innovative products and solutions that meet the growing demands of the connected world. The company is headquartered in Sunnyvale, California, with over 9,000 employees in 50 countries and nearly $5 billion in revenue. Its customers include the top 100 global service providers, 30,000 enterprises, and hundreds of government agencies and higher educational organizations. Constantine previously served as Vice President and CTO at VMware, and before that was a VP and CTO at Citrix Systems. Following its acquisition of Byte Mobile, a transport and video optimization company he founded while a faculty member at the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. Constantine joins us as part of our exclusive editorial segment on Open RAN. Welcome, Constantine. Great to have you on today's episode.
Great to be here with you, Tara. Thank you.
Okay, so let's dive right in. What trends do you notice in global Open RAN adoption and deployment?
Just came back from Mobile World Congress that took place about a week ago, and I was actually very encouraged by what I saw regarding adoption of Open RAN by major Tier 1 operators. And as you know, Juniper is an active proponent of Open RAN across different industry and standards organizations. We are an active participant in 6 out of the 10 working groups, and we chair the network slicing task group. We are co-chairs of the use cases task group, and we lead actually the working group for network slicing. But we are major contributors in the other 4 working groups as well. So we're pushing in all with all cylinders, firing at all with all cylinders, I should say, to make sure that Open RAN matures to the point where it becomes a must-have for all the operators. You know, it addresses key requirements, right? The open and interoperable ecosystem that is so important for newcomers, innovative companies to come into the ecosystem. End-to-end service management and orchestration is a key focus for us, as well as the radio intelligent controller, which is, I consider it an absolutely essential element in fostering this open ecosystem environment for operators that addresses some of the key pain points. So we believe that this year is going to see, significant adoption and accelerate probably in the next year or two.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's very insightful. Expanding on that, in what ways are automation and AI driving the take-up and success of Open RAN?
Automation is essential because it addresses operational efficiencies at the very core, both CapEx and OpEx. And if you couple automation with the capabilities of machine learning and AI, now you take efficiencies to the next level. But it's not just operational efficiencies, it's also optimization of user experience in the network, latency and bandwidth requirements that always have to be managed across different parts of the network. So automation is absolutely key. And we as at Juniper have incubated the radio intelligent controller in the Beyond Labs, which became actually a general availability, a GA product about a year ago. So when it comes to the RIC, we have the near real-time RIC, which is very close to the radio access elements, the DU and the CU, and the non-real-time RIC, which has global view of the network, of the entire network. So the near real-time RIC reacts in near real-time, sub-second, probably round trip in a few milliseconds, to reconfigure the network as necessary based on usage, based on congestion, events, fault events, and so on. And then the non-real-time rig is part of the orchestration, the automation layer that manages all the resources, again in near real time, and provides policy guidance to applications that run in the near real-time rig. So in that respect, we cover two of the essential elements of automation in the network. And as I mentioned, with AI, we can effect closed-loop optimization, where we harness the wealth of information that we get from performance metrics, KPIs, configuration parameters, to train models that allow us to do closed-loop optimization, address issues before they arise. The so-called AI ops is an essential element in managing this enormous infrastructure networks. Automation also has an effect in addressing user experience and service experience in real time, adjusting the network by reconfiguring the network as needed in near real time.
Mm-hmm. And how does having multiple vendors in the same, sharing the same infrastructure and the same system contribute to this? Especially, how does AI and this closed-loop automation support that kind of ecosystem and environment?
Right. Well, the first part of your question, or the last part of your question regarding AI and machine learning, as I mentioned, is both embedded in our radio intelligent controller and our end-to-end service management orchestration, in the sense that we train AI agents using configuration data, performance data, KPIs, fault data, to effect the closed-loop optimization, which addresses both operational efficiencies, like you have an event that may create congestion in a particular network, so we can proactively reroute traffic to avoid congestion. Or you may sense that one of the servers running the baseband unit, the DU or the CU, is about to collapse, right? Because the CPU runs at 90% utilization. So we can proactively address those issues before they become catastrophic to the network and lead to potentially network outages. So AI comes into the forefront at multiple levels, addressing operational efficiencies, addressing user experience, service experience, etc. When it comes to how this supports, how important the ecosystem is to the success of Open RAN, I will use an analogy with the familiar server, right? So you have a server, you have a CPU, and you have the operating system that abstracts out all the complexities of the hardware. You don't care whether you have an ARM processor, x86 processor, GPU, or accelerators. The operating system sees just resources that are managed and abstracted out to the application layer. The application layer makes requests for abstract resources, like give me compute, give me storage, give me I/O, etc. So it's essential. The operating system is essential. In the same analogy, in the same way, the radio intelligent controller becomes essential to mask out the complexities of the RAN and open up an abstract interface, thankfully driven by standards in our case, that makes application development easy or possible, as a matter of fact. So that opens up new possibilities for new business models, new ways of addressing operational efficiencies, and creates, opens up the ability of third parties to come in and, add applications, innovative solutions that, as I said, address business, operational, and efficiency, objectives for the operator.
Wow. Well, those are great insights, and you've explained how basically AI and in automation basically supports the multi-vendor environment by enabling that level of abstraction and also enabling that kind of visibility into the network, which allows us to basically manage different components at the same time. And if you have issues and if you have challenges within the system, you're able to basically pinpoint where it's going wrong because you have a system that pulls all that together. Now,
Exactly.
looking at Juniper Networks, how are you guys enabling AI-driven automation in Open RAN, leveraging, of course, the advanced capabilities of what you've just mentioned, the RT rig and the non-RT rig?
Yeah. So if we look at what Juniper brings to the forefront here is the end-to-end network slice, service management, and orchestration. And we feel very strongly about the promise, the importance of network slicing. Think of it as a way of segmenting completely a very complex use case and providing specific services, specific applications, specific SLAs, service level agreement, through a fully virtualized use case. So you stand up a network with application servers with strong SLA across multiple clouds, public clouds, operator, data centers, etc. And you can do all of that in a fully automated way. That's enabled by the service management and orchestration. In doing so and enforcing SLA, you need to make sure that all the semantic domains of the network, including the radio access, the transport, and the core, cooperate. And they are stitched together in a way that provides the latency, the bandwidth that you need to support for that particular use case, for that slice. So putting all this together is non-trivial, and it's driven by automation. Now, if you add to that the requirement to modulate resource allocation in real time as various random events happen, it points to the need to have something intelligent, a closed-loop optimization that is driven by an intelligent algorithm, i.e. machine learning, for example, AI agents, that allow us to proactively address issues before they arise, right? And when it comes to delivering the end-to-end SLA, the last bastion is the spectrum, the way we manage spectral resources. That's where the rig comes prominently to cooperate with the MAC layer scheduler to allocate spectral resources where they're needed in real time again, providing a true end-to-end solution.
Wow, amazing. So, you explained about Juniper's solution and how you guys, contribute to the AI-based automation that is, supporting Open RAN. Well, looking at the wider ecosystem, basically the industry ecosystem, we are curious to know how Juniper is fostering a collaborative environment across operators, vendors, and standard bodies to accelerate, Open RAN innovation.
As I mentioned earlier, we're one of the biggest contributors to the ORAN Alliance. We follow and participate and contribute also to TMF and ITF as well as PP. These are the main standards bodies that drive specifications that every vendor follows. And that's key, right, for all of us to follow those specifications because then we address the issue of interoperability. We make interoperability very, real, as opposed to, deploying an army of engineers to roll out a particular solution, which is typically the norm. So I think the industry is driving in unison towards that end goal, slower than we all, would wish, but there's no question that we're moving in that direction. Juniper is one of the most, active drivers towards that, interoperability nirvana. And one of the ways we do so is by participating and contributing strongly to Oran Alliance. We chair several task groups. We are the co-editor of the use case task group, as well as the chair of the network slicing task group, and I think the second largest contributor in terms of IP contribution to the standards. We believe that, building standards-driven APIs is the way to go to enable interoperability. We have an active program, for partner application developers, XApp and RApp developers, that we support with real resources. We have built an API, northbound and southbound abstract APIs that simplify deployment of XApps and RApps on our RIG platform. We also have an SDK, and we have sample code that enables third-party applications to very quickly port their applications on our RIG platform. And we support that actively also through engineering engagement as needed. We have more than a dozen different partners who have already ported some of their applications on our RIG platform.
Mm-hmm. So given all these facilitation that the industry is providing to players, do you expect new players to join the ecosystem? Like probably people from IT side, now that, we need more providers of RApps and XApps. Do you foresee seeing new names and, new guys joining in?
I do. I believe that there are many innovative companies that are waiting to see the Open RAN and Oran ecosystem mature to the point where they can unleash their own innovation and bring to the market very innovative solutions. I definitely believe that we'll see more participants, but we have to first wait for the ecosystem to mature, and B, for operators to take the plunge and start adopting or rolling out actually solutions that are based on Open RAN. As a matter of fact, I believe that some of these technologies are going to eventually trickle into the enterprise space, because these use cases are very relevant to certain enterprise verticals. If you look at oil and gas or healthcare, for example, industrial automation. We're talking about verticals that can benefit right away with a private 5G that is driven by a radio intelligent controller and applications.
Wow. So I guess, exciting times ahead for Open RAN, and we're excited to see how new players come in. And as you mentioned, there are a lot of new use cases that are being developed, and I'm sure there's a lot of work going into perfecting those. And like you rightly pointed out, upon maturity, we will see a lot more vibrancy in this space. So with that, I guess we are at the end of our session. So thank you, Constantine, for your time today, for explaining all these concepts on Open RAN, as well as Juniper's role in this space.
Thank you, Tara. It's been a pleasure.
Okay, great. And to everyone tuning in, thank you guys for listening. If you want to learn more, visit www.juniper.net and follow us for more updates and insights as we continue to uncover the latest in technology and telecommunications. See you in our next session. Bye-bye.